is a quick walkthrough of Avalara's developer portal, just to show how I generally profile APIs. Always start with going to the developer portal, and then I have a set of tools that help me do things here. So I highlight this and I just say add new API. What this does is it just jumps into the inbox of API Evangelist, the description, the URL, and hit create. And basically there's jobs in the background that will then pick that up and add it to the API Evangelist site. So what we're going to do is pause and pretend that happened. Okay, now time has lapsed. The job's been picked up. Avalara should be in the API Evangelist site under contracts. There it is. Doesn't have any tags or any organization to it. It's just a default API here. So it's in the system. It's got a basic API's JSON file. And now I want to go back to Avalara. This is where I begin profiling it and rating it and indexing it for discovery, further storytelling, and this is how API Evangelist works. So you got a home page, you've got an SDK here. This is good. This is something that I want. So here's a set of profiling tools that I have that help me work with this. So SDK is onboarding. Well, I've moved it. We've got a whole code here. So let's go SDK. Now I could go through and index each of these language libraries. I will opt to do that in a little bit. We won't do that right away. Avalara developer communities. This is good. So this is about, what is this? Where do I have this? Alignment, communication. Oh, I don't have a communities. Should be under alignment. Maybe I don't use community. Let me see. It should be here under alignment. So what I have to do in these cases is go to my bookmark manager. No, I want bookmark manager. Thank you. So I go here to profile and I go under alignment and I just take one of these and I add a new bookmark and I call it community, and I keep expanding my list of vocabulary that I use. Let's leave that open in case we need it. So now I should be able to go up here to alignment, communities down here. We'll drag it up here so it's alphabetically. There we go. We got a developer blog, so that's under communication. What's on here? Pretty standard blog. Developer support, so this is under alignment. Support, help center, preferred developer. Submit a case, ask a question. Oh, they have a newsletter. Yeah, didn't look like it worked. Not the destination I had in mind. Okay. We have a contact page. So let's add that to here. Alignment. Back. Let's ask a question. Okay, so I don't know if I have something for this. Alignment questions. Ask a question. So probably it's pretty much an FAQ you can ask, and I don't see actual all posts. Nothing here yet. Oh, you got to log in to post something. Well, I'm going to add this too. I don't feel like under alignment we should have ask question. These are all valid. All right, let's go back. Profiling, alignment. Didn't I just add this? Oh, it's at the bottom. That's all right. Ask a question. We'll move it up here to the top. All right. I closed the page. Good job, Ken. Get certified. Interesting. Alignment. We got certifications. That's interesting. We got webinars. Pretty common. Go back. I'm working from this. University. So I would say seems like university should be, but do we have like a learning? I would call it learning. That works better. E-invoicing mandate definitions. Interesting. Interesting. See, these would go under schema. That's what I would. Do we have a code SDK or maybe a standards? I think I have a standards. Onboarding. No. All right. Well, let's add schema under code. So I have, yeah. All right. Glad we left that open. So let's go ahead and bookmark this code schema. That's an interesting one. And then Avalara Studio. So I tend to not bookmark tools or things, just the most common properties. So they have test integration. So I think I have reliability. We have testing, but I don't testing integration. So that's a good one. Yeah. So the adding of new ones is always interesting. That those, when it pushes the boundaries of what I would consider common, it's pretty interesting. Integration. When I learn new things, I find it give more points to Avalara in the end. So these are all testing. I didn't grab this ad at first. This is the portal, landing portal. Oh, we've got an Explorer. Let's go grab this. So this is onboarding Explorer, pretty common. Anything else here? A lot of resources, pretty slick. All right. Go back to the home page. MCP servers. So here's one that I need to be tracking on. I know I don't have one. So where does MCP servers? Let's put this under that nice brand new category. Gets its own category, and we all know why. All right, and then let's just grab one of these. Go back. Let's add. All right, they've got several resources under there. Very cool. Okay. So we got a trial. Okay. Put put this under business. Trial. I don't have a trial. Interesting. All right. Added quite a few. That's a positive sign. That's a positive sign. All right, and then marketplace. Let's get this up there somewhere. All right, that's a little more alphabetically sound. All right, we got a trial here. Very slick, very slick. Ready for agentic. Ooh. Takes you to the MCP service. Okay. Back to the home page. So exhausted this. So I tend to not grab products. Integration guides is interesting. See if I tend to have guides. Right there. Let's go back to the home. Most popular guides. I like that. Okay, yeah, learning university. Yep, see, that's why I flagged it as learning. Tend to not call it university. That's integration guides. What's this? Ooh. We got view all integrations. So I have reusability integrations. I want to stay in the developer area before we go to the main site though. So blog, knowledge center, support, community, we've already gotten these. Ask question, we already got. We did not grab the terms of service. Developer side, and the privacy policy, gotta have the legal. All right, now let's go through the main website. Right, pretty good. Right, this is where I start to grab from this. So customer stories, I find interesting. Avalara leadership, careers. If I don't have this, alignment. I want careers because I'm starting to track it as a signal. So this is, I would say, business. All right, careers. That's alphabetical. All right, so grab that. We've got careers. Back down. Whoops, the footer. I lost my footer. I like to track the partner program. Again, a business. Whoops, that was not product. We will make sure and fix that one in a second. We got press. Probably should have a press. No. Press releases. It's interesting I don't have press. I mean, yeah, it's really news, but let's add one for press. It's interesting. I got news up here. Let's just edit this one. We'll call it press. Oh, I see. I had this as newsroom. I like tracking the nuance between these. So we got newsroom. All right, add new bookmark, press, because it's news, but it's tends to be more external. So we'll call it common. But they have a newsroom here, and they call it press. All right. So let's go with newsroom. I go with whatever the title is, not what's linked, I guess. Locations, interesting. Sitemap, support. I've got white papers. Communication, white papers. Events. This is always an interesting one because what type of events? It's not event driven. This is communication, so we'll add that there. Did webinars. I tend to not grab products. These are global sites that I'm not quite that sophisticated yet. More products, integrations. I'll harvest the integrations page separately. That's a cron job that'll run later. I'm not worried about solutions. I'm not really worried about products. I've got your partner program, but this is a pretty sophisticated partner program. So I tend to dive into these separately. So I have the partner page, but I'll dive in and submit an opportunity, become a partner, awards, and this overlap with the developer program. This is probably a pretty sophisticated sign of because if you look at a partner program, API Evangelist, the building blocks. So here's from previous deep dives into partner programs and how all the different building blocks of partner programs. So I do these as a separate beast, but this is their partner program. I'll give up quite a weight for the scoring and the rating of this. This is pretty slick, pretty. I just have to say, like this view of what a developer is, what a partner is, what are APIs, external. This is all part of that API management journey. And when someone's done this level of thinking, it tends to reflect. There's other positive things going on, and so this is a signal that I'm looking for. Resources. So we already got a lot of this. Tools, featured. We're not worried about that. Resources, blog, events, webinars, customer stories. I already grabbed all of that. Support, product documentation. I don't think I grabbed training. Might have. If not, we'll figure that out in a bit. All this is very tax specific, not too worried about it. Press jobs, we already grabbed all that. Support, though I do want the sign in access. So sign in. Product portal. Interesting. Join this. Oh, they got a sandbox. So they got several. It's got a different URL. So that's important. So I wish there was a page, a sandbox page that had a canonical URL for all of this, but it uses a separate domain or several separate domains, and they're different. I wish there was just a dedicated page to this. That would make it easier. So they do have a newsletter here. But again, I don't have a URL to share. That last URL I used didn't work. Okay. So that's looks like most of it. Now I know that I didn't find a documentation URL because that's always on the back of my mind. So become a developer. What's this? So API Explorer. So this is basically the documentation. Okay. Yeah. So this is all the docs. So API Explorer, API Docs. I'll sometimes onboard or list things twice, just so it gives. This is docs, and I would probably ding it if I didn't have that bookmarked as documentation. So patch notes. Okay. So this is a change changelog, that's important. Versioning is another important thing I track on change-wise. Versioning, okay. Got most of this. Oh, that wasn't relevant. I got all of this. I'll probably come back and do the individual SDKs, do a deeper dive into the partner program. There's a search. Let's just use the search. Oh, nothing came up. Let's just look for something we know will return. So we got a pretty basic search, okay? Sign up. I want to make sure and have access. So we have sign in and sign up. Those are two pretty key. Oh, you got a call. Okay. Well, I'm not going to call, but there's lots of sandboxes and things I can play with. I'm not too worried about it. So the newsroom is press releases. Interesting. Okay. There we are. I would say that covers most of it. Now, there's a second quick layer that I do when I review a site before I make an assessment on it. So if I go to the Explorer and I click into an API, so top 10 endpoints ping, check all 10. Can I find the open API or a Postman collection, something machine readable behind this? It's always kind of one of my pet peeves. I haven't found one yet, and there's not a machine readable thing for me to load into Bruno or Postman or automate and use Kyoto or other SDK generations, Appomatic and others. So let's just see. Then I quickly open up developer tools. Is just, peek behind, and I'll look to see what's going on here. I don't see. I don't see anything open API. Don't see anything Swagger. Okay. So what I do is I go Avalara Open API. Got people advertising, and so usually, I'm looking for something owned by the provider. A GitHub repo is usually it, behind the docs, linked from the docs, but I know firsthand that y'all have a Postman collection. So this is, this one's mine. So yeah, this is me. This is my workspace. Thought I'd close this off for them. It's got quite a few forks and watches. I thought this workspace was made private though. Oh, it's public. Okay. So I do have a collection for it, but I don't see their workspace. Oh, Avalara Swagger. Ooh, this is next. Okay. This is 9 years ago, though. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Maybe it hasn't changed. Yeah. So yeah, I guess maybe it hasn't said. I'm guessing this is where I generated the Postman collection from originally. So I'll grab this, and then I'll also grab the Postman collection that was back there, even though it's mine. Because I want that URL and the others, and I'll show you why in a second. Let's close that, let's close that, let's close that, close that, close that. All right, we pretty much looked through everything. I Google search for Postman or Open API. Sometimes I'll also do async API because I want to see if there's any asynchronous APIs that are defined. MCPs come out, that's good. And then I'll just look for API. So what comes up here in the cards, what comes up, here's that. Oh, what's this one? Oh, this is me. Sad that I'm not verified. Here's their tax API, sponsored. Here's some videos. Oh, we got an Avalara YouTube. I like to track on this. Oh, Avalara YouTube. Yeah, so I want to track that. That's an important channel. Gravity. It's always interesting who advertises against them. So I tend to just kind of glance through the top 20, 30 YouTube, see what else comes up. It's always interesting. You tend to find how active the community is, how active the competition is. So YouTube, don't look like much else social media wise. I guess let's look at, I guess I didn't look at the site for any social media bling at the bottom. So we got Facebook, YouTube. I'll usually grab the LinkedIn, and I don't care about whatever that company is. Oh, this one, we got a compliance. So I want this. It's an important one. See, this is why I just keep looking around, because you never know what you're gonna find. Different links, different way to get things there. The information architecture is I don't have a cookies, huh? Interesting. I'm not worried about cookie policy. Okay, that concludes the profiling. Now back here. So this is API Evangelist, me profiling Avalara, nothing in here. If I scroll to the bottom, got this little check. Now I've got all these URLs down here of everything I just bookmarked. So what I do is I just add these to common. And, you know, I just make sure. I don't really care about the name, to be honest. I want to keep most of the names. But, oh, and product was one that we didn't do right, and I already screwed that up. Okay. Let's just keep processing. Trial, guide, integrations, terms of service, privacy policy, customers, careers. Oh, this is that one I wanted to change. So this was partners. Oops. So I don't want it to be products. I wanted partners. Common. All right, so those are added. What happened to those? Well, they just got added right here. So you can see the API's JSON now has all these different types. It's got certifications, ask questions, contact, quite a few things. So now I tend to save this just because I want to make sure I've got a copy of it. But then we're gonna tag that. Save that. So I want to update the API specifically. This is the API documentation. The URL that I had was so I wish I had an open API, but I have a Postman collection. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna export this. More export. I hate that. Don't get me going. Export JSON. All right, now I got this JSON file. Have this, where is it? Somewhere here. Postman to Open API, because I want an Open API. Well, that's my source of truth. So I'm going to choose that file, grab that collection, copy it, close the page. Oops, I want to keep that Postman collection handy, or that workspace, because it's key. Okay, so did this actually save? All right, so it's been saved. We've tagged this with taxes. Let's go ahead and cascade this tag down. Now we've got all of our common properties now in here. We've got alignment, business, change, communication, consistency. So these are all the things I rate. And this is pretty robust. This is pretty nice. Now, this is the surface layer of what I can bookmark from a portal. I can apply ratings to these. You know, I have a scoring system. So here I'll govern these based upon, I'll run linting rules and add this up into a score as part of my storytelling, which comes next. And this is pretty robust because this means you're hitting a lot of the bases that I'm looking for. Now, I also want to make sure the LinkedIn gets here. I follow on the LinkedIn, and these are I can't add these by URL, so these are manual adds. So I add these here. Get rid of that. Here's the YouTube. Add the YouTube. It's pretty crude system, but it works. Here's the Postman, but whoops, this is me, so but I still want it. I still want it bookmarked. So I'm guessing they have their own Postman workspace. Let's add mine for now, but let's go look real quick actually. Because I thought I'd turned mine off after y'all asked, so but I get a lot of those requests because I created a lot of workspaces to get the API network going, and it's not responding, so I'm not going to wait around for it. I want this Avalara GitHub org. You get some drop downs on these. All right. I do want this Swagger. We're gonna just call it Swagger too, because it's relevant. It's a relevant artifact, even if it's not maintained. Okay. I don't care about that. Close Avalara there. All right. How's the search doing over your Postman? API network, Postman API network. Avalara. See, I don't want to go to my workspace. Blended workspace, collection, team. This looks like a legit Avalara team. Avalara 99096. No. Team Avalara 9261. Workspace. API Evangelist. Yeah, I can't quickly assess who's legit, and this was a problem at Postman. Collection. Yeah. Can't really I mean, I'll ask them. All right. So back here, save what we got. Commit's not working for some reason. Now we got all these URLs. We got this API's JSON as an index. I'm going to generate this README from it, and hopefully this is committing properly. Let's go look at the repo. Look at the GitHub repo. Let me put a git ignore in there. We got a README in an APIs.yaml, basic info, URL, timestamps, one API with link to the docs, but all these common properties. Pretty robust. But I guess I still got to assess further. And the documentation only tells me so much. So what do I need next? You know, this is where you got to have an open API. You got to get your hands on it. We get the API page. So I'm looking at an individual API. We need to add a taxes tag out of here, but this is where I want the open API, and I believe I have it here. Wait, no, I have it here somewhere. Here, I know this was API's JSON. What did I do with that open API? That I copied to the clipboard, and I think I just lost it somewhere. All right. Tools again. Where's my Postman to open API? Convert. I have another converter, but I like this one. This one works good. So I like using it. All right. Now I've got my open API, and I paste that here. Go away, and I hit save. This is gonna work. Paste. Commit. See if this saves. It is. Okay. See? Now I've got every operation. So now I've got the whole open API here with all the tags, with all the structure. Why? Because I want to be able to do this. Be able to execute a linting. Hopefully it works on this. There it is. So this looks through the entire open API structure. This is a more honest take than this, but they both work together. So this open API assessment ratings plus the linting for this so give me a set of rules. Come on. Oh, what's going on there? But anyways, that should give me my narrative about what I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of APIs there. There's a lot of properties to the operations. That's what goes into my summary. I'll work on that next.